Hello there, my name is Richard. The first time you see my channel, I used to review cartoon series, anime series, so something completely random. And today we're going to talk about Drifting Home, a new animated film from Netflix, or at least produced by Netflix. And this animated movie was sort of a surprise. In fact, I highly recommend it to not watch this review because this will contain spoilers, because the less you know, the better. It's one of those type of films. In fact, if you're curious what it kind of looked like, you can watch the trailers, because the trailers don't really show you that much, and something that give you at least the gist. Even that will be okay. For that, if you are interested, watch it right now. After this, there will be some spoilers. Anyway, the whole story of Drifting Home is basically two lead characters. Both of them are sort of like brother and sister, but not blood related or name related. They're just really good friends who have to live in a like an apartment where their grandfather used to live, that he passed away. After that, the two kids sort of kind of falling out downwards. Both of them sort of left their own direction, but we as an audience, we have to sort of figure out what was the argument, what was the thing that broke them off. But this is the thing that makes this movie so interesting. This movie went the direction sort of the Goonies, or Stand By Me, or E.T., or even into Stranger Things, the series from Netflix. I mentioned that type of show, but this movie, that's basically the whole story. Because the kids couldn't come back together because the other one looking for her, or basically one of her friends spot her in the old apartment where they used to basically live. And he was sort of curious, like, what's going on and what you hear, and she's willing not to talk to him because they still have that falling out. Once more, we don't know why. Then other fans came in and started arguing once again, but out of nowhere, the whole movie starting to rain. The apartment trying to drown off because one of the characters almost died falling off the building and got saved by basically water. I mean, basically the whole building got basically teleported a different place, this like grand ocean, but the whole thing does not make sense. Not to the kids, because while we are in a building in the middle of nowhere, there's only ocean, and the building is not connected to anything. Oh, FYI, I'm sorry for the sounds. I basically some trailers passing through, but anyway, after that, the kids are just sort of curious of what's going on. In fact, they asked one of the kids who actually living in the building, like, do you know what's going on? Well, yes and no. There is sort of an imaginary friend, but not really an imaginary friend, called Nobu. And this kid could be the problem why they teleported this sort of location, but we don't know why. But this is the fun part, because they get to live in the building, because there is basically sort of survival sort of scenario, because everything it has is sort of rotten, trying to look for food. But the weird part is they have other building passing through, and the kids trying to basically strategize, what can I get to that building to get the food. But only between this sort of survival instincts kicking in, they have sort of the growing up sort of scenario, especially the two main leads, why they're upset, and they sort of tell the story what the kids sort of fall out. And that's sort of the interesting, because the whole movie is basically a metaphor of lost family, divorced parents, and reuniting that fall family as one, patching things together now words. But I love it even more. It's sort of telling you to let go in the past and look at the future. You cannot stay in the past, because the whole building, it is the past. That is their childhood. They just cannot let go, for sort of obvious reasons if you've seen the movie. But I love it, this kid Nobu, that he sort of knows what's going on. He's sort of the MacGuffin, or better yet, he's sort of a yokai, if you know what that really is. It's basically kind of like a ghost or spiritual thing, best way to describe it, that if you ignore something, it comes alive because it needs to be used. That's basically Nobu, but once more, Nobu doesn't know what he is or how he uses his sort of special abilities, because he's just sort of there. He is a kid, but it's sort of interesting how he is. In fact, the other kids don't know how to react to him. Now, one of the most interesting things is how fun and relatable all the kids actually are, because none of the kids are just copy and paste. They are actually kids, especially some kids you do actually know if you've been to that sort of circles. Like there's the gaming kid, that's the little princess kid, that's the kid who's sort of like eat barbecue and having fun. What's more, they're sort of generic but actually fully developed. And that's the thing, no kid is sort of ignored. Each one have the moment to understand who they are and why they're there. But once more, I don't want to ruin that much about this movie because it's just so much fun and interesting. Of course, I do understand some people will not like some decisions that the kids does, especially one of the main leads. She did something that is sort of stupid, but at the same time, it makes sense because how trauma she really has, especially her divorced parents sort of ignore her if she feels that she is the reason why they broke out, the reason why everybody fall out off of her. In other words, they angry, unhappy, and blame her and feels she doesn't deserve to live. She's so upset living in the past because it's the only moment she actually has a moment of happiness. In other words, and you have his best friend slash brother who trying to convince her, yeah, I'm with you also, but you have that sort of choices you make that can easily piss you off. But knowing this information before you going in makes more sense the decision she makes. I'm not telling you who, I can let you know what's going on next. In fact, I did not spoil anything about this movie because it's just sort of out the very creative. It feels something from the 80s. That sort of enjoyable, fun, taking adventure, but become a nightmare. Especially a lot of things they don't really explain. One of the big example, this goo that sort of devours everything, but the kids don't know what it is, and the kids see it, but they don't know how to describe it. In fact, even more interesting, in the whole movie, the kids don't know actually was the events real or not, because one of the characters says, "It's not my first time teleporting this place. Is that all this time I thought it was sort of a dream?" And the best way to describe it, yeah, this whole movie, the kids experience, the kids sort of growing up, understanding their emotion, understanding their relationships, makes it sort of like a dream aspect that is so much fun and so deep. And they do go deep, sort of kind of situation kind of deep, like their relationships and their family problems, but they do have solution. It does have a happy ending. But once more, it's sort of the creativity of this movie, especially the abandoned building that could be, you could say, its own character. In fact, it kind of is if you've seen the movie. But all that, I can't say much. I just recommend it. I really enjoy sort of the ideas and the creativity of the whole scenario, in other words. Now, I have not one question. Do you see this movie? Do you like it? Do you hate it? Tell me down below. Let me know. Honestly, I got nothing else to say. Just thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and have a wonderful day. Bye.